Hey everybody, welcome back. We are on number 61 today. So very close now. And as always, please just keep watching and sharing. Tell the whole world how beautiful you all are. To and for each other. How much we all matter in the threads that weave our lives together. Share it with the whole world. Help me show them all why we matter. Help save lives today. Okay, so this one is another really, really deep one, and I'm going to try not to take too long on it. And this boy is one of my most favorite and trusted people in the whole wide world. For several years now, through some really, really shitty events, but I'm only going to tell you about two. And it all began by accident, which, ironically, or by the perfect timing of the universe, is also the first event I'm going to tell you about. So I met this boy in the time between getting with the ex again and moving in. Halfway still amid the fling that I was having with the other woman. And I met him because my roommate was moving into a new place with her boyfriend. So I was seeking a new roommate of my own. Because I certainly couldn't afford to live alone. Even making above minimum wage at full-time hours. I can't afford a two-bedroom place alone. Nobody can. So I posted to my friends on Facebook and had one of my friends hit me up, one of the girls. And this girl was on my diner crew list. So I was down to at least try, but it was her and her boyfriend that needed a place. And I'd never met him before. So again, highly fucking nervous about it instantly. But decided to give it a chance. So they moved in, and it turned out I actually kind of like this guy. He's really awkward sometimes, but I love that about him. And for a while, it was a very cozy, happy little home. But life happens, and they ended up breaking up a few months into it. And the girl moved out, which essentially left this boy on my doorstep. At the time, he had just been recently fired from his job as well. So I was definitely more than afraid of living alone with this new unemployed roommate guy. But I did like him, and we did get along. And when she left, he was in so much pain. So I just tried to kind of scoop him up, to be his friend, to help him. And within weeks, we got him another job, and he began his grind. And I'll tell you what, when this boy has a purpose for making it happen, I've never seen another human being that can grind like he can when push comes to shove. He just needed that little moment of taking a breath. And he picked himself back up so fucking quick. I was amazed. The strength in this boy. And this happened to take place through a really rough moment in my own life as well. We pushed that grind together. I took a chance and picked him up and helped carry his weight for a moment. This boy I barely knew. And guess what happened? In return, he helped me carry some of my burden too. And we just muscled up and carried each other. That was the first time this guy saved my life. He saved my life because I saved his. Instant karma, and neither of us ever expected it. It was just that fucking simple. An act of love created a bond of love. It's that freaking simple, guys. One kind act changes lives forever. So, on to the second time. Sorry, my nose is kind of runny today. So, and this one was what feels like just a few months ago, maybe 6, roughly. It was as I was moving into my parents' house and had just broken up with the other half of my soul because of being so unhappy in the relationship, despite how much I still love her. And I was going to try and pursue a relationship with the girl I was having the fling with, who had suddenly reoccurred in my dreams. And during that time, for a very short moment, both women had proposed allowing me to be with them both if I loved them both so much. And that morning, I happened to have some sit-down time with my boy, and I told him about what was going on. And at first we were both astonished and like, what? And kind of joked about it, and like the real possibility of having two women cool with being mine at the same time. I have never been the player type in my entire life. I have tried a few times, I just can't do it. There isn't enough time or heart or honesty in all of that for me. And in that moment, this boy just looks at me, and all he said was, "To what end, though?" And instantly, clarity literally struck me in the heart. Gut punch right to the fucking soul. Because he was absolutely fucking right. It would be great fun to be with both women just because I could, but I didn't love them equally. Never possibly could. And that reality check, that conversation that day, saved my life because it kept me from making that decision and hurting both of those women very, very deeply, at least right in that moment. Some different things ended up happening a little later, and in the end, I did end up sleeping with both of them at the same time for a short time. But the truth is, it didn't last long, because this boy's words still echoed to me. In the end, what is the goal of seeing them both? I couldn't live my whole life that way. Even with the honesty, there was way too much guilt, too much work, and I just couldn't. And it was because of this boy's words, because he knows the way my heart works, the way my honor works, because his soul is my brother. So, episode 61 is for you, Sky. You are a beautiful man and an amazing friend. And we have helped each other through some of the roughest days either of us has ever seen. And just like I told the boy in the previous video, you have that same strength in you. That same unstoppable force. You can do anything. And with your ability to grind and work so hard on top of it, this world is literally at your fingertips. And I hope you grab all of it by the fucking balls. And even more so, I hope I'm still someone that you call your friend when it happens. You are one of the most important people I've ever met in my life. And I'm honored to call you brother. Everything about you, and the shit you have been through, and the shit you have done, it all matters. Everything about you matters. I love you, and you are my favorite fucking rock star. And you will always matter. Episode 61. Sky.